we've just arrived at the artist's studio. So he's just inside, just doing a couple of videos, and then in a moment we're going to go in and do an interview. So I'm just going to stick around outside for a moment, and I'm also going to just show you the views from here as well. I understand now. In the beginning I thought we were going to come and see some sculptures, and I wasn't quite sure what there was, maple leaf sculptures, how do you make those? And I can see in his display as well that they're also available to buy. So I'll go in and have a look at a few more. I'm going to ask him a couple of questions, and then see if I can maybe take one or two of them away with me. So we've just driven another hour through some pretty rough dirt tracks in the middle of nowhere, on the side, in the middle of the mountains and valleys. But we finally made it to the Shuanglong Village. So it's kind of a little bit complicated. So there's kind of a general area called Shuanglong Township, and we've been to a couple of the villages in there, the smaller ones. So we've been through Bijia, and there was another one I can't quite remember the name of. But this is the Shuanglong Village in Shuanglong Township. But it's definitely been worth the trip here. So behind me is a really good view of part of the Lesser Three Gorges. Okay, so all checked into the hostel for the night. There aren't any big hotels here in Shuanglong Village, so we've kind of got a little guest house here. That's to come and check my crib. Let's come and take a look. So it's pretty basic, but I think for a village in the middle of nowhere, this is actually pretty decent. And there's also a gigantic cobweb outside the main window as well. But as long as they stay there, I'm not too fussed about that. So we've got a table here, and I think if you take that lid off, it also turns into a mahjong table. Right, just out for a stroll. That guy was just burning a pig's trotter with that, whatever you call it, like the flamethrower, something like that. So we're just going to go out for an evening stroll. I might have a game of basketball to see if they rope me in. So you can see I've got all the gear on. The shoes aren't quite right for it, but they'll have to do. So if we see anything interesting on the way, I'll definitely show you. Right, so the sun is about to set, so I'm sure these lights will be coming on, and we've also got some background music as well. So I'll try and show you, but I could already see the ladies out on the square down below, so they're doing their line dancing. So it's quite a lively, relaxing atmosphere here in Shuanglong Village. Sounds a bit like she's watching the Boonie Bears. Right, we're just going to try a look. So we're walking down this little side road here in the hope it's going to lead us down to the water side. Because it'd be nice to get a view down there just before it gets dark. So you can see people have planted corn by the side of the road as well. So it's good to see that kind of every last plot of available soil has been cultivated. Right, so things are looking up. So just a bit further down, maybe about 200-300 meters, there's a right turn, and it seems to have a little dirt track going down to the water side. I know, those legs need a bit of a workout. But I was in a good habit as per exercise, but that kind of ended with the epidemic kind of back in January. Before that, I used to play squash on quite a regular basis, and even go to the gym sometimes, although I don't really have a lot of time nowadays. Yeah, so I stopped that in January, and even though we're kind of well into mid-May now, I still haven't really got back into the habit. But I'll get around to it, I promise. It's looking a little bit steep down there. I'm not sure I'm going to risk it, and there's also the added fact that it's getting dark, so I don't really want to have to climb back all this way in the pitch black. So I would have liked to have made it down to the middle of that little sand spit over there. But we'll keep going the other way, and we'll see what we can find. Okay, so I can see the end of the track down there. So it's like a little wharf down there, a couple of boats. We'll take it in there, take a little stroll down to the water side, just take in the atmosphere, the sights, and then we'll walk back hopefully via that basketball court and see if I'll get any action. So we've made it to the water's edge. So the sun has set on our second day here in Wushan County. It's been a great day. We did all the interviews we wanted to do, and it's been a nice stroll out this evening as well. So tomorrow we're going to look into these the low interest loans that's used to help rural households develop their own business and raise themselves out of poverty that way. So I think tonight we're going to call it a day. I don't really fancy the basketball. They might, if they won't meet me, and I might give them a few minutes. But other than that, we're going to call it a night. So thanks for joining, and we're going to see you again tomorrow morning, okay? Okay, good morning. It's the third day here in Shuanglong Village. So today we're going to look into the low interest loans. We're going to go and find some people who have received them and interview them, and we're going to learn about what conditions there are for these loans and how the locals here have been using them. I'm just going to show you this office on my left here. Okay, so 为群众办好事，让群众好办事. Okay, so this is really a service centre for villagers here. So if they have any questions about government policy, any kind of welfare or advice, they want to learn more about health insurance that they can depend on, then this is the place for them to go. Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look around the back. So on my right here is a cafeteria. So this is where all of the local government workers they can have their breakfast, lunch, and dinner here. So we've been using this place during our stay here. It's actually very, very decent. So now I'm going to go and locate our cameraman, and then after that we're going to head off. We're going to go and visit some of the local villagers, and there might be a few interesting additions as well to our itinerary. So the department chief here was also saying that there's a walkway, a mountain walkway. You might remember we did one in the past on a vlog in Jiefang Bay in Chongqing, but this one is in the middle of the Lesser Three Gorges. So as long as we have the time, this should be a really nice addition to our trip here. Right, we've made it to our first stop this morning. So we're in a place called Anjing. And it's an interesting name because Anjing just means like silence or quiet. And actually that is really how it is here. I mean, it's so serene, it's unbelievable. So just been in the building behind me. I'm going to take you to have a look around, and it's it definitely has a room with a view. Okay, so I'm just sitting down for a few minutes while we get ready for the interview. So we've got a couple of officials here who are going to talk about how the low interest loan system works and how it is helping people not only alleviate themselves from poverty but also do well in business and live a more prosperous life. Okay, so here are more of those plaques I've been telling you about. So we've got a nice little terrace up here. I don't know about you, but I think you could do a lot worse than work in a place like this. Okay, so this is our second stop of the morning, and now we're outside the vineyard of Mr. Liu Jingchun. So he is an example of locals here who have taken the low interest loans to create their own business. It looks very impressive from here. I mean, the grapevines go on for quite a long way. So this sign is about helping impoverished households, particularly those with disabilities. So I might have to ask a bit later what exactly that one is about. Let's go and see Mr. Liu Jingchun. I think that's the man just over there. So I just had a chat with Mr. Yu, and he told me 这里柑橘也有吗？
在我们那边刚刚去的那个下面，停在下边，那里上边冇。
He explained about the sign. So Mr. Liu Jingchun, a couple of years ago, he used to work in motorcycle repairs, but he had a motorcycle accident a couple of years ago, and because of that, his household fell into poverty. But it was after that as well that he took a low interest loan, and he established this vineyard here. Okay, so we've just finished our interviews with Mr. Liu, so he's the owner of this vineyard, and then also had an interview with an official to talk about the inner workings of the low interest loan program. So now it's a beautiful day. It's clear skies, so the sun is shining down hard on us. It's about midday, So I've donned my my straw hat and I'm going to take a little bit of a walk around. So our cameraman is busy just doing some more filming elsewhere, so I've got a bit of free time to go and check the place out. So without much ado, let's go and check it out. Okay, so it seems like this piece of road, so it seems like this stretch of road has been recently paved. So I've actually left my mark on this village here. So I'm just going to walk around the sides. Yeah,